Hello and welcome. It's our next of the review of the year packages, and we're speaking to Jason Craddock, of course, the main man, the man that focuses on the big races for the Sporting Press. Jason, it was a tremendous year on the track. Of course, it was a very strange year as well, but all in all, it ended in such fantastic fashion that we can only help but look forward to 2021. And a lot of the main competitions that we saw towards the end of the year, well, we won't have to wait a year. We only have to wait a matter of months. The likes of the English Derby, the Oaks, the Shelbourne 600, these competitions will be around as soon as we blink.
It's been a mad rush, really. In Ireland, I've never known so many competitions. It's week after week. There's been good stuff. It's just a shame that punters and the crowd and the owners and trainers couldn't get there to see it. You know, some have, but very few.
Now, Jason, where are you based? You're based in England.
I'm based in Nottingham, 10 minutes from the track, the home of the English Derby at the moment. Yeah. I mean, there is rumours it could go to Towcester or Sittingbourne, but Nottingham is very similar to Shelbourne Park and very popular with the trainers. Towcester
it's been very popular. It's been very popular with the Irish too, Jason. Well, 1, 2, 3 in the 2 years there.
Because it's very similar to Shelbourne. There's a good back straight there, where there isn't in Towcester. There's nothing wrong with Sittingbourne, but it's miles away for the Irish, for them to come over to Holyhead and then drive to Kent. You know, so Nottingham's well positioned. The viewing is very poor. We know that, but the track, there's nothing wrong with the track and the racing. That's top class.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the viewing for the last 6 months has been top class because everyone's been watching from the couch for the various tracks. Exactly. Hopefully, we'll see a change to that in the very near future. Now, Jason, we're going to ask you to look back on your two best moments of the year, one a local moment perhaps and one an overall moment. So you kick us off, whichever one you want to start with.
Well, locally, it has to be the English Derby, 10 minutes away at Nottingham, and I couldn't get there to see it. But personally, I backed Wolf each way at 40 to 1, so it was nice to get 10 to 1 the place. Sad to see him get injured in the final, probably caused by the fact that his kennel mate, normally slow away Ballydoyle Razor,
Valor, yeah.
He's the dog that normally slow away, flew out in the final. Wolf couldn't get across, and that the bumped all the way to the bend, and Wolf came off injured and will never run again. But he's been a great servant for the kennel.
We must say, thankfully, he's right as rain. It wasn't too serious. It was a small muscle injury. But at this stage in his career, they decided enough was enough. And in fairness, he owed them nothing.
He was an Easter Cup winner. He was in many big race finals. He was a great dog. But he was a great winner, Deerjet Sydney. You know, Pat Buckley's been trying to win the English Derby for a long time. Very emotional scenes there with his daughter at the presentation. And he was well pleased to complete the Triple Crown of Derbies.
Yeah, indeed, the Triple Crown of Derbies. Not too many men have done it, and to do it with the likes of a College Causeway, you know, in Ireland was a great achievement. But then to back it up by winning a Scottish Derby and an Irish or an English Derby was the icing on the cake. It was a great English Derby from start to finish. The condensed format, it didn't really cause any harm to the competition itself because it was brilliant from start to finish.
Well, it was easier on the dogs, 5 weeks instead of 6, and. You know, one round less. We didn't have the 3 runs in a week either, so it was very easy on the dogs. The Irish dogs were based over here, which probably helped as well, and they didn't have to travel. Graham Holland usually travels across and stays for the weekend, but being based here and Pat Buckley back in Poole, which is miles away, by the way, but everything went off well.
Yeah, it sure did. And in the end, a 1, 2, 3 for Ireland, of course. Second and third, both running amazing races too.
Don't rub it in, Ian. We're sick of the Irish winning and taking all the money away.
Well, you want to keep it at Nottingham. Surely we'll win it again if it's at Nottingham.
Well, probably, because to be fair, there's a lot of talent in Ireland, and in England, there's not as much.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from the English Derby again. Won by Ireland for the second year running, 15th time in all. Jason, what's your overall moment of the year, or should I say an Irish moment of the year?
Well, the Irish moment of the year. In Ireland, I've never known as many good bitches around. And this Ballymac Ariel is flying as a pup. But you have to go back to the Oaks a few weeks ago when Ballymac Beanie led all the way for jockey Pat Dobbs and his family. It was a great moment. It was a great final, one of the best maybe. And there's some great bitches in that final that will go on to better things.
And of course, I half sister to Pastana, who had lit up the early rounds of the Irish Derby, but Ballymac now flies the flag. She won't be overly raced next year. Pat Dobbs has suggested that she was bought for breeding, but she's a special talent. She's still a puppy. She's still a puppy until January, which is frightening. She can qualify for the likes of the Kirby or the Produce Stakes, but I would dare say the Oaks double would be on their mind.
Oh, definitely, but there is a dispute in the Dobbs household. The brother now, he bought it for breeding. He wants to retire straight away. Oh. And Pat says, no, we want to race her. So they're at war, a friendly war. And but I think Pat might get his way for a few races, but I don't think we'll see him much after the middle of the year.
Yeah. Oh, well, listen, that's fair enough. If that's the way she was bought, that's why so. But it is a shame when they have a shortened career. But she's already in even just 10 or 11 races. She's shown us that she's a special talent. That Oaks final, it was over from the early yards.
Oh, definitely. Droopy's Curio, you must give her a mention because she's a great bitch, but she just lacks that pace for the first 50 yards. But she chased her home, and she'll go well in this Christmas Oaks at Shelbourne with the very young Ballymac Ariel as well.
It was a tremendous Oaks final, to say. Also, Swanley Chick was there, and she had played such a part in the early rounds of the competition. And Ballymac Art, of course, is another one for Liam Downey to look forward to next year. She's massive early speed, but as you say, it was a tremendous Oaks throughout.
Oh, it was great Oaks, and like you say, Ballymac Art, she's running in the Christmas Oaks, which she won last week. Swanley Chick broke the track record in Dundalk earlier in the year. She's had a hectic campaign now, so she might have a rest, but she'll come back strong next year. And like you say, the Oaks is what, 5 or 6 months away. That's all. Yeah. So a lot of these we see in this year, they'll be running in the Oaks. And it'd be great to see the older ones against Ballymac Ariel. That's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen a lot of the 5.25 yard bitches running of late, like the ones that we've been mentioning in the Oaks and stuff. But then you throw in the likes of Amina Miracle or an Amazing Alice or a Coolavani Chick, these ones that haven't actually taken on their own company in quite some time. They've been running against the boys. You throw them back into bitch company, and all of a sudden you've got, even if 80% of all those bitches that we've been speaking of turn up, it's going to be an unbelievable renewal of an Oaks next year.
Exactly. It's called girl power, Ian. Girl power. I've never known as many good bitches. Now, there's a few good dogs around, but not in the quantity as the bitches. There's so many.
Yeah, from start to finish, the unbelievable, great crop of bitches. So I was going to ask you what you're looking forward to most in 2021, but it seems like you've already nailed your colours to the mast.
It's got to be the Oaks, really. But I love marathon racing. I just wish Ireland would have more staying races. That's what we want. They're very, very popular. It's just a shame this year. We've got one of the most eagerly anticipated races this year, the TV Trophy in Brighton, and it clashes with the Shelbourne Marathon. And the two biggest marathon races either side of the Irish Sea. Madness. Let's hope sense prevails next year.
Well, Jason, I can promise you I'm more than firmly behind you on this one. I want more marathon races. I believe we should have novice races every month, give dogs a chance to step into marathon company. And I think we should have at least 2 or 3 more marathon competitions over 750 yards on the calendar. And we should have at least another 1 or 2 over 8 bends on the calendar. That would be great. Because as you say, they are hugely popular, both with punters and just casual spectators alike.
It's the first race. If there's a card, it's the first race I look at, the long distance race. And the punters love it. The tote turnover goes up. The Betfair turnover goes up. It's what people want, staying races.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, let's hope for more of that in the future. Anything else, Jason, that you're looking forward to in 2021?
Well, getting to a track-in would be a start. I fear for the industry over here because the longer people are away, from the tracks. Will they come back? And will they buy dogs? I mean, buying dogs at the minute, they're buying dogs for the bookmakers' benefit because they're getting no benefit whatsoever out of it. To see the dogs race on television is great, but only for so long.
From a UK point of view, it's more graded dogs that have been bought these days than the open class dogs. They just don't seem to have the graw for them at the moment when you can't get to the track. And it's also harder to get the good dogs from Ireland nowadays.
Well, it's harder to get the good dogs, but there aren't as many open races over here. I mean, they're arguing with Brexit about the level playing field. Now you've got state-aided races over there. All the money goes back. A lot of the money goes back into the races, and people put the money into open races. Over here, we're relying on promoters and sponsors, mainly bookmakers, to fund the open races, and it's not sustainable.
Indeed. So what you're saying is that next year, when the Irish do come over in their throngs, we're going to take more of your top prizes.
Well, we're trying. They're arguing about Brexit, but we're trying to put barriers up so the Irish top dogs can't come.
That's the,
well, they can,
that's
but
the whole reason behind Brexit.
Only for 3 or 4 rounds, and then we put the barriers up there.
So, Jason, this time next year we'll be speaking to you. Hopefully, we'll be talking about a third Irish Derby or Irish-English Derby winner in a row, and perhaps another 1, 2, 3 would be nice.
No, we're hoping the Irish have 2 or 3 in the final because it's great for the gate, great for the attendance. But if they finish 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, that'll do.
Okay, Jason. Well, I'll hold you to that, right? Listen, Jason, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Have a great Christmas, and we'll speak to you in 2021.
Same to you, Ian.
He's happy, waves his flag for the final of the Star Sports and Art Greyhound Derby. Good luck to all 6 connections as the hare makes its way to the traps. And away and racing, and Dear Jet Sydney has bounced out of the boxes. Trouble there, Wolf collided into his kennel mate, and it's Dear Jet Sydney, some 2 lengths clear from Smurfs Machine. His brother has turned 2nd, then comes Ballydor Valor, who started to pick up. Cooler Valley Chick in behind. As they reach the 3rd turn, it's Dear Jet Sydney, 3.5 lengths clear. Ballydor Valor is edging ever closer, clear from Cooler Valley Chick, up towards the line. Dear Jet Sydney is all out from Ballydor Valor, and Dear Jet Sydney has won it for Kenny Glenn, and Pat Buckley, the Irish Raider, wins the 2020 Star Sports and Art Greyhound Derby final in style.
And so the runners in traps for the final of the 2020 Sporting Press Irish Oaks. In 1, Swanley Chick. 2, Ballymac Beanie. 3, Ballymac Art. 4, Drubby's Curio. In 5, Ballymac Juliet. And 6 is Nemesis. Here up behind Boxes Racing, and Ballymac Beanie off to a flyer. Leads up the middle of the track from in 2nd 3, Ballymac Art. Then comes 4 and 3rd, Drubby's Curio. Swanley Chick up the inside, but it's Ballymac Beanie on by 2.5 to Swanley Chick, and 3, Ballymac Art. Drubby's Curio closing in 4th, but out front still 2, Ballymac Beanie. Drubby's Curio is absolutely motoring, but clipped from 1, Swanley Chick, and Ballymac Beanie leads off the corner. She'll win the Sporting Press Irish Oaks for 2020. A brilliant performance by a brilliant lady. The winning time 28:18. Congratulations to Ciara Veriker and Declan Byrne.